Well, today is June 18th, and it's kind of an important day for me. This has nothing to do with politics, but this would have been my mom's 85th birthday. I was pretty close to my mom. She was a good woman, she was a good mom, and as she got older, she was a good grandparent too. She was a great grandparent. And she lived in a condo in the suburbs of Minneapolis, and we talk all the time. It was May, and we got together for Mother's Day, and all seemed to be well. One day, my sister calls me up and says, "Look, I was talking to Mom. She sounds a little funny. Can you go check on her?" This time, I was a traffic reporter, so I had a split in the middle of the day. I got off my first shift at 9 a.m., and I decided I'm going to go over and see how Mom is doing. So I get to her condo and I ring the doorbell, and nothing happens. She has a screen door with one of those latch hooks. So I took a credit card, opened it up, and went in to her condo. The door was open. Her cats were running around. And I'm standing there in the living room, and I'm thinking to myself, I probably shouldn't yell for her. She's an older woman. She's almost 70 at that point, and she hears a man's voice in her condo. That might scare her. So I just kind of roamed around looking. And I couldn't find her anywhere. I presume maybe she went to the garbage or went to the store or something like that. So I just wait for her and see how she's doing. And then something came to me at that point, and I said, "You better check the bedroom." So when I check the bedroom, I go in, and there I find my mom lying by the side of the bed, face down. I'm going, oh my God, she must be sick. I'm going to need to call the ambulance right now. And I start to do that, and I think, maybe I better check further. So I went over and touched her leg, and unfortunately, it was cold. My mother had died there. The woman I grew up with, I've known all my life, the ones that protected me and the one that supported me all my life, and there she is dead. And it was a weird experience. I'm somebody who keeps calm under most situations, but this kind of freaked me out. This was something I never expected. Nobody was expecting it at all, and now I got to deal with this situation. So I'm sitting there thinking, what do I got to do? I got to call the police first, which I did do. And then I called my brother, and I told my brother, get on the phone and call whoever you got to call, but get down here too. So my brother's headed down. The police show up. Nice guy, older guy, sits down with me. And I realize at first as we're talking, and he hasn't even looked at my mom to any depth at this point, he's asking me questions. He's trying to determine whether I had something to do with her death, because she wasn't quite 70 yet. She was going to be 70 in a month. And he's kind of grilling me. And I'm not even really worried about it because, it's crazy. She's there. So then he goes and checks on her. And when he comes back, he realizes I had nothing to do with it. This was natural causes. And then he becomes very nice and easy to work with and doing everything he can help me out with. So they call the coroner, and the coroner comes out. And they look at her. And they get up and they say, well, we won't do an autopsy. She's older. She had some medical issues, so we won't do an autopsy. And they leave. I go, aren't you taking her? I mean, we have a dead body, my mom, in her bedroom. Aren't you taking her? No, we wouldn't take her under these circumstances. And my brother and I are just fucking freaking out. It's just ridiculous. What do we do? We don't know what to do. And I know that my mom had paid for cremation before she passed away, but I don't know who to call. I don't know who it was. And it was weird because a guy stopped at the door who lived in the complex, and he saw what was going on. And he happened to be one of the brass from the local cremation society. The fuck, how did that happen? He just pops up. And he asked us, did your mom want to be cremated? I said, yeah. He said, I thought so because I think I've talked to her before. I can handle this situation completely for you. I can handle that. And so he did. He had the cremation society come out and take her out. And it wasn't until afterwards that it really hit me that what had happened, this big moment in my life where the one person who's been around me ever since I was born was now gone. It was it was scary, but it was also kind of a point where I said, okay, now you got to be in control. You got to be the boss, and you got to make the choices. It was a moment I finally had to grow up. Now, this was in 2010, and she was 69, going to be 70, and I was already 50 years old. So this was a weird event. So the point of that is I want to tell you about her, because she was a very smart, very compassionate woman, and everything that I have good in me and my siblings comes from her. We know that I've had my issues with my dad, but my mom was an important person, so I'd like to wish her a happy birthday today on June 18th. She was born in 1940.